Namo Adidafa. Thank you so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fifth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I'm determined not to use alcohol or any other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I'm aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. We've been reading Beginning Our Day, Volume 2 by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery for our daily Dharma lesson. And today we're reading Making Uncertainty Clear by Lungpo Pasano. I received an email the other day from Ajahn Yaniko and Tan Titabo, who recently left on their tudong from here to Oregon. They had arrived safely at Steve's place in Willits and were camped out on the floor of his shrine room, sore and aching because it was their first day of walking. They weren't used to carrying all their gear for such a long distance, but they'll get used to it. They were planning to leave Willits yesterday and head up north. Who knows how far they might get today and where they'll be going on alms round. This is part of the adventure and part of the practice of taking on uncertainty, anicca. When we are out on the road walking like that, uncertainty is a constant presence. In fact, wherever we are and whatever we are doing, whether on tudong, walking back to our hut, or working on a project, uncertainty is a constant companion. But often we don't acknowledge its presence. We tend to fall into assumptions of certainty, assumptions that this is a sure thing or this is going to be a certain way. We assume that everything is laid out clearly, such as how our day is going to go, who will be here, and what can happen. There is, of course, a certain fallacy to those assumptions. It is important to remind ourselves of the uncertainty of our existence, the uncertainty of what is happening around us, and the uncertainty of the things we rely on for comfort, security, and well-being. As a part of practice and training, it is essential to keep bringing up the reflection of impermanence. When the Buddha speaks about the universal characteristics of all phenomena, anicca is the very first quality he points to. In many suttas, the Buddha expresses that it is essential to bring awareness to the truth of impermanence. When we bring awareness to the truth that everything is changing, it doesn't make us more fearful or anxious. Rather, it brings a sense of clarity and immediacy. But uncertainty and change are often not engaged with, and so they slip into the background. When something is in the background, it tends to be fuzzy and imperceptible, and we can have all sorts of incorrect assumptions about it. Anicca vata sankhara. All conditioned things, all phenomena are impermanent. That phrase begins one of the suttas in the Dhammapada. By making an effort to bring to mind this reflection on uncertainty and change, we have an opportunity to brighten and clarify the mind with the truth of impermanence, the truth of our conditioned experience. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.